Today, we're going to be looking at a really chilling and heartbreaking unsolved case from Japan that dates all the way back to 1972. It's a story that has stuck with many people because of the brutal nature of the crime and the strange, mysterious details that surround it, including some very creepy photographs. The account I'm about to read was compiled from various sources, and the original writer included a note at the beginning that I want to share with you first, just to give you some context. First, I would like to apologize for any grammatical or spelling errors. Unfortunately, the sources for this case were very limited, and since my native language is not English and the case is being handled in Japanese, I had to work with 3 languages and a translator, which unfortunately resulted in some errors leaking through. Nevertheless, I believe it's important to report on such a case so that the victims will never be forgotten. Thank you for your understanding. Yunwu Hot Spring, located in the western mountainous region of Gunma Prefecture, Japan, is named after the clouds. It was one of Japan's most famous hot springs and summer resorts during the Meiji era. In its heyday, there were 4 hot spring hotels and 20 to 30 villas here. In August 1972, 24-year-old Keiko Inao, a young office worker from Aisaki, Gunma Prefecture, originally planned to go to Kinyukan in Kirizumi Onsen with her mother and younger brother on the weekend of August 12th and 13th. However, she had to go to Kinyukan on the weekend of August 12th and 13th. Unfortunately, her mother and brother had business matters before departure and had to cancel the trip. Keiko, who loves to travel, didn't want to let anything spoil her fun, so she stuck to her original plan and traveled alone with her luggage. Keiko Inao boarded without any problems and went to the Jinteng Hall to check in. The next day, Keiko Inao got up early. After breakfast at the hotel, she asked the hotel staff to help her take photos in front of Wuji Hot Springs. She planned to check out and leave around 10 a.m., but this time she decided to walk down the mountain alone instead of taking the hotel shuttle. At 1 p.m., according to witnesses, Keiko Inao was resting at the Ninja Pond, about 800 meters from Kirizumi Hot Springs, and asked someone to help her take photos in front of Ninja Waterfall. At 2 p.m., a family was leaving Wuji Hot Springs. After driving about 2 to 3 kilometers from Wuji Hot Springs, they saw Keiko Inao walking down the mountain alone. They even invited her for a ride, but she declined. That was the last time anyone saw Keiko alive. When she did not return home, her parents became increasingly worried and formed their own small search party and went to the onsen. On the evening of August 16, a private search team found a woman's body covered in blood in a cabin near Wuji Dam, about 4 kilometers from Wuji Hot Spring. At the time of death, a large amount of blood flowed out, staining the wooden board of the body red. The woman was identified as Keiko Inao. According to a forensic autopsy conducted by Gunma University, Keiko Inao was stabbed 24 times. Her death is believed to have occurred on the afternoon of August 13. The fatal injuries included a stab wound to the heart and 3 broken ribs. The defensive wound from the knife in her left hand suggests that she had been struggling violently before her death. The cabin was divided into 2 rooms, and a trail of blood led from one room to the other. This suggests that Keiko was dragged from the entrance to the other room after her murder. Police suspect this was done to make her body more difficult to see from the doorway if someone were to look inside. Keiko's 43 possessions, including a white knit cap, a camera, a blue cloth bag, a travel book under her clothes, and a clock that had stopped at 10:09 a.m., were found hidden in the cabin. Wounds on her back indicated that she was also attacked while trying to escape her attacker. The murder weapons were never found despite intensive searches in the forest and dives in the nearby Kirizumi River. After analyzing the horrific wounds, medical experts believe 2 types of knives were used: a 10-centimeter survival knife and a butcher knife. Local police immediately established the Wujishin Femicide Investigation Squad to launch a large-scale investigation into people working in the Wuji Mountains, including dam workers, fishermen, and tourists. However, the killer appears to have planned ahead and not left behind too many tools for the crime. Furthermore, on the day of the incident, all dam employees were returning to their hometowns to celebrate the Aben Festival. At that time, most of the tourists visiting the Wuji Hot Spring were families, and the hotel staff also had an alibi. Police turned their attention to the fishermen who were active in the foggy area at the time, but there was no clear evidence and the search stalled. Police examined the items left behind by Keiko Inao at the crime scene and attempted to find clues. Among the items Keiko left behind, police found a camera. They developed the camera's negatives and attempted to reconstruct Keiko Inao's tracks using photographs taken by tourists and statements from hotel staff and tourists. Keiko Inao took a total of 5 photos in the Mysterie area. Of the first 4 photos, the first and second were taken near the Jintang Pavilion, and the third and fourth were taken in front of 2 waterfalls, one of which depicted a person. Another waterfall identified by the hotel owner is King Kong Waterfall, which can also be seen in the photo of Wuji Hot Spring. By comparing statements from hotel staff and fellow travelers, the police were at least able to reconstruct Keiko Inao's whereabouts on the afternoon of August 12/13 and confirm that the first and second photos were taken by hotel staff. The family who had invited Keiko Inao for a ride claimed not to have taken a photo of her. On August 19, a 22-year-old man named Yoshida Ishida, who claimed to live in Shimokitazawa, Setagaya Ward, Tokyo, contacted local media in Gunma Prefecture and claimed to have helped Keiko Inao take photos at the waterfall. He allegedly went fishing with a friend at Ninchai Pond on the afternoon of August 13 and met Keiko Inao there. Inao asked him to take photos for him. At first, he pretended he couldn't take photos, but Inao said, "Just press the shutter button, it's easy." He shot the third and fourth picture of a total of 5 pictures. The man, obviously a key witness, promised the newspaper he would go to the police immediately to discuss this crucial piece of evidence, but he never showed up. Fortunately, the man had provided his name, address, and place of work, so the police decided to investigate him themselves. And they discovered something disturbing. The man didn't exist. His name, profession, and address were fictitious. To this day, no one knows who this man was or what his intentions were. Did he know anything? Had he really taken the photo? Was he actually the murderer? We'll never know. The 5th and final photo, represented by this model image, because the original recording was never released, first pic, was taken from the road in front of Condor Waterfall. According to people who saw the original, a strange glow emanated from the bottom of the photo, obscuring it. She is said to have had a serious expression, to have stood knee-deep in vegetation, and to have had a stiff posture. The location was less than an hour's walk from the crime scene. Police believe the photo was taken shortly before Keiko's brutal murder. Because forensic investigation methods such as DNA testing and surveillance were not yet widespread at the time, and because Wuji Hot Spring was located in a remote mountainous region of Gunma Prefecture, it was difficult for the police to discover the truth. There were no suspects. In 1987, the statute of limitations for retroactive criminal investigations expired. Since then, Keiko Inao's death has remained an unsolved case with virtually no chance of being solved. However, this hasn't stopped people from delving deeper into the mystery, and they continue to discuss the various possibilities surrounding the case, especially the creepy photographs. So that's the story of Keiko Inao, just an absolutely tragic and frustrating case. A young woman who just wanted to enjoy a solo trip and her life was brutally taken from her. The part about the witness, Yoshida Ishida, who called the newspaper and then just turned out to be a complete fabrication. That's one of the most bizarre details I've ever heard in a case like this. And that final haunting photograph that has never been released to the public. It just leaves you with so many unanswered questions. I'd love to hear your thoughts and theories on this one in the comments below. What do you make of the phantom witness? And what could have happened in those final moments leading up to that 5th photo? Thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next video.